Alright family, welcome to my channel, Juno and Kairos, where we sit down to expose the lies, tactics, and devices of the enemy, as well as revealing the good news and the glory of the Lord Yahweh. Today we're going to dive into the topic of weeds, tares, NPCs, Archons, and God's elect. So as you can see, Matthew 24 states, Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed into his field, but while everyone was asleep, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. So me personally, this is something I love to talk about because it's something I experienced directly. But basically what's being said is, just because you grew up and with these two eyes, you were taught that everyone around you is just as real as you, has a soul like you. But then along the way, somewhere along the way, you started to catch on. You didn't fully get revealed to like the truth as far as Matthew 24 goes, but you're like, in your head, why am I this way? Why do I have this type of soul? But other people don't seem to have, or at least certain convictions. Like, you'll have certain convictions not to move a certain way, but it seems like people are doing it freely, at will, like with no second thoughts about it. This flesh, this body, is nothing but a vehicle, a vessel. Behind the veil is where the real world lies. So some of us come from a certain domain, while some of us come from a different domain. This is why you could be in the same body and go to sleep. One night you went to sleep and went to a higher realm, a heavenly realm. You had a good dream. The next day, or another day, you went to sleep and went to a lower realm, a demonic realm. So you had a good dream and then you had a horrific, terrible dream. Behind this veil is where the reality lies. This is where the real thing is. These are just ways of moving around in this dimension. So great. Now that we came to that understanding, when we talk about God's elect, the ones that are here for a purpose, they knew who you were, and I'm talking about the good side and the bad side. They were aware who you were before you came into this body. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I anointed you as a prophet to the nations." So this confirms that before you even had a body to depend on, the body was not the beginning of anything. You existed, you were to be acknowledged before you even came into the blood family you was born into. Speaking of the blood family you were born into, this is why people can come from the same blood, right? Time goes on, it's just a certain level of opposition that I'm not gonna say can't be fixed, but there's something behind the veil going on. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can try to make it work or whatever, but time and time is gonna show you there's something going on here. This is not just a miscommunication. Trust me, I've had my experiences. This is not just a miscommunication thing. This is not just a somebody had a bad day thing. This is something that's systematically going on behind the veil. You understand? Same thing with the gang stalking. I know a lot of you guys go through that. I go through it. This is the same thing. You step out that door. Say you backslid. Say, all right, cool. Let's get real. Say you fell into lust. You probably got on the sites. Say you maybe started drinking. Say you maybe had gotten high. Or maybe some people do other things. Everybody got their own vices and own struggles. Gluttony, you name it. The fact of the matter is, Satan uses these as reference points to properly set up certain situations for you to fall into some type of lower vibration, whether that's shame, guilt, condemnation, anger, anything that's gonna take you out of where God wants you to be, the spirit that God wants you to be, the fruits of the spirit. He wants that. Why does he want that? This is why my name is Juno in Kairos. When you're in God's spirit, you operate in Kairos. You're no longer a part of this 3D chronological order thing they got going on here. That's why sometimes you wake up every day, you're like, yo, bro, every day is the same day. Why do I keep waking up to the same day? Because they got you living a life that's watered down. And they know this. They just bank on the fact that you will never know this. They have you living a life that you didn't come here to live. So you're talented, you know, you're vibrant, you have a good personality, you have a good heart, you know, you look out for people, you know how to turn the other cheek, you know how to have forgiveness for people. Why is there this opposition coming up against me, right? That's making me try to feel like a bad person. What's this pressure that keeps trying to press on me to have me in a dark atmosphere? You know what that is? That's the devil. He's not fond of you having those spirits. I know as much sense as it makes. You know, I like this person. No, this person. The devil doesn't like those. It indicates that you're from somewhere else. You're not from where he's from. If you're not out here in greed, dog eat dog type vibe, snaking folks left and right, the devil does not like you, bro. He don't even like the people that's doing that for him, but he is tolerable because they're carrying out for him. That's his nature. If you're in complete opposition and you're moving holy, bro, he does not like you. He doesn't like you, no amount of kindness, or he doesn't fuck with you. You thinking you about to create and you know, do all this high vibrational stuff, bro. The devil can create anything, bro. As soon as you're creative, he knows, yeah, I'm not jacking this person. I don't like this person. This person has a spirit that's from somewhere else that's not, he can't create, he just perverts. He just perverts. Another thing I'd like to get into is like I said, say for my folks that, you know, you may drink, you may smoke, you may indulge in other things. Those are the best times for Satan to send out his minions to do whatever, play out whatever they want to play out in your vicinity. I can't count on my fingers how many times I've been through this. Even though I'm ignorant in my ways, I'm seeing it happen. It's kind of frustrating me, but you know, you hop back in. That's what addiction does. You hop back in. It doesn't matter what comes with it. But I'm aware. I'm like, what? Especially when it's weed. Especially when it's weed, bro. It's like you go into a different space and you're just watching things just manifest out of nowhere. All of a sudden there's fights going on around you. All of a sudden there's angry people around you. I guarantee you some people can relate, bro, because I know this is, some people have told me that this was a paranoia. We know this already, but let's talk about the NPCs though, like what they do. They take advantage when you're under the influence, bro. So you'll be in a place you think, I don't go to clubs, but say you anywhere that got social drinkers, or you just had a party and smoking weed or whatever, cool. Everybody's vibing. So when you're sober, everybody's chilling. But trust me, bro, you get under that influence, there's gonna be a switch that turns off in people, bro. It's not gonna be everybody, but you're gonna be able to see it. And that switch is gonna be geared towards you. It's gonna be geared towards you. You think they're getting into it over there. No, they're getting into it so you and your nervous system can be out of whack. Oh no, there's danger around me. Those people don't have no problem with each other. They're actually from the same place, spiritually. They may can even fight and injure each other and not feel no pain. I'm sorry, this stuff is deep, bro. This is deep stuff, bro. But it's all for you to react to. It's all for you to get traumatized or get thrown out of whack or feel the need to break it up. Bro, this game, you have to be sharp. You must be sharp. Basically what just happened is, so I haven't been talking to my mom. I kind of haven't been talking to any family really, briefly, for a while, because, you know, I'm just diving into my own lane. But this is the perfect example. I haven't spoken to my mom about a week, 2 weeks. While I'm making this video is when she texts me from a different number asking me she can't find me. Why is it now that you're asking me where I'm at? It's things like that. It's things like that, bro. And if you can't have a carnal mind, bro. You won't be able to have a carnal mind if you plan on making this journey. So basically how the system works is, you think you're going to kindergarten, you think you're going to first grade, you think you're going here and there. You're going into a system that will have certain plants. Even though the kids may not be super like conscious to know how they're doing what they're doing, you're gonna be around a lot of people that come from certain lineages. That's where they get them at. They come from certain bloodlines, or they might have certain receipts in the spiritual from their bloodline that indicates this is someone who will play out these characteristics. Let's put them around them. Ask me if I'm lying. Ask me if I'm lying. So 9 times out of 10, you were a quiet kid. You know, you might have been funny a little bit, but you were quiet. Why are you around people that's full of rage and hate all the time? But you gotta go to school though, right? You have to do this. But your soul is getting affected by it. You understand what I'm saying? This is where the creativity and the soul aspect of yourself diminishes over time because they got you in these tanks, so to say, of just energy draining. You already have to sit down and learn a bunch of things you may not even be carrying on. Like, I forgot about so many things. It's the fact that you also have to deal with the emotional aspect and the spiritual aspect of everything going on around you. Let alone some teachers are not even all the way there. They falling into this shit, bro. This is all planned out. It's all planned out. This is why they don't want you in Kairos. You're in Kairos, you have no choice but to have a connection with Abba. When you have a connection with Abba, everything you're taking seriously around here, you will realize this doesn't mean anything. This is not something to take that serious. This is not something to crash out over, waste my mind on, waste my mental energy on. You know what I'm saying? So you got dreams and aspirations of being this, that, and the third, right? Get ready to be, like, they will put it in front of you. This is someone that's perverting what you're doing, but they have the success that you're looking for. And what do? You're enraged, right? You're out of place with God now. You're paying attention to the world. Why do they have this? Brother, sister, bro. This is not your land. We're pilgrims here. They're gonna control this shit for as long as they've been doing and will be doing until that time comes. What we're here to do is awaken the ones like us. Stop paying attention to what's going on around here, bro. Don't even be worried about it. And you'll be able to not worry about it. That's what they don't want you to know. They want you to think that you're just going to be surrounded and there's going to be nowhere to go. The spiritual realm has nothing to do with the carnal realm. You will be able to be in peace. You will be able to be focused. You will be able to get what you need to get done. You will be efficient, but you have to be in the spirit, bro. As soon as you let anything bring you down here into this and reacting and all that, it's going to seem hard because you're not in the spirit no more. This is why some people never even get the chance to enter the spirit. They're just gone from the get-go. And what do? They become like what I'm talking about, the Archons, the NPCs. If they didn't initially come like that, their soul gets transferred into that. I've seen it happen with so many people. The level of trauma and just nonsense that they have being pushed out into the masses affects the soul, and some people are not the same no more, bro. And these are sober people at that. I'm telling you, I know something like this world is wicked, bro. This world is wicked.
So you was waiting for the world to become a better place, or for the wars to stop, or the bad news to stop, the trafficking that's going on. If you waiting for that to end, bro, you're wasting time. You need to worry about exiting this thing that they have us in temporarily, not for eternity, temporarily. When it's all said and done, we go back to where we came from, if done right. Now, if you fall victim to this nonsense, bro, that's on you, and it's gonna be on you for a long time, and you don't want that. Leave the social aspects of things alone. It's good to have friends, but if your friends are clearly showing you they're not on what you on, they don't carry the same morals and values that you're on, you gotta decide what's more important, your soul or your social status. Same with relationships, same with everything, family, bro. That's how they get you. These is things that you think is necessities, or that you need, or that you'll feel incomplete without, and they use those same exact things to insert those principalities in and see how you gonna react to it. Oh, we got one. You know what I'm saying?